Där kommer han.
Ladder up, Marshall. Facing the ball. 5, go.
Nej, skit.
Bring it back, go.
Skorna.
Move, 5 shuffles, go.
There! Look what the difference in one button there. What's up?
Everybody on the right side. I'm going to the back. Keep it down, keep it down. Fill up there. No.
In the beginning of the season, special at the training camp, you told me you want the team to be a little bit better on everything, special effort. Do you think today the team is better?
Yes, we are. As a team, we are better on every position. We execute a little better. We work a little harder. If I compare to next year, so we more or less better on every position and every situation on the ball. Yes.
I also asked you about who you think the season ending, you think the season ending this year, and you told me you don't think about the season is gonna ending, how it's gonna ending, but what do you think today?
I usually do the same thing. You of course you have it back in your mind. There's going to be an end. It's going to be a couple of big games, but you take one practice at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. There's not very many games left, and the season's coming to an end. But I really am trying to focus. If you starting to focus on the result more than on the journey, you starting to lose. It's better to emphasize and attack the actual challenges you have right now. And when you add on all those stuff you're trying to do, that's going to be a great achievement in the end.
And you have spoken in an interview about the offense weakness, dropping balls, fumbles, countless, and behave control. How do you want to change on it?
It's always something to work on, something to emphasize, and something to get better at. And if you're trying to pick up your bad stuff, because there's a lot of things that working as well. You work on those things, and then you work on we getting the ball security up. we doesn't fumble that much, and we are able to go into and work on the cadence as well, and we have been less penalties also, so we have been better of all those stuff. But you always try to emphasize and try to attack one of those challenges you have, and you get better of those ones.
If you today looking about the defense play, how do you react about the defense reading the enemy's official playing?
We are getting really well. If compared to last year, we are better, both DBs, linebackers, and defensive, and as a unit. We have better scouting, we're better angles to the ball. We fly to the ball, create more fumbles, and we are getting more turnovers, more or less. So we're getting better at all parts of the game as well. It's not only reading; it's a lot about understanding what they're trying to do as well.
In the Swedish Football League, Mean Machines have beat the teams with very high score. But in the Northern European Football League, the scores is very even. What did happen with the Mean Machines to lose?
We played versus really two really good teams. Both Copenhagen and Helsinki is top teams in Europe, and if you compare to the plan was to win the Swedish league in 2020, and then to try to go abroad in 21 and 2022, maybe start winning games. So we are way ahead of our schedule, and that we were able to play with these two top teams is really amazing. I'm really proud of what we did, and we actually faced two tough opponents, and they were better than we were that day. But we showed them that we are able, and we are back where we belong, and to be able to play with the top teams in Europe.
The quarterback Alex Thury had made 1,085 passing yards and 7 touchdowns at the Swedish Football League. What do you think he have to change?
He also needs to get a little better on the details, reading defenses a little better. We have a couple of things that we know that we think that we are able to change. And now we're getting into the situation that you're able to to self-scout, look a little bit what we're trying to do and what do you think that our opponents are going to do versus us, because what they read. So there's things to develop there as well.
Today, Mean Machine have not lost any games at all. In the Swedish Football League in the 8 past years, Crusader has become as the Swedish champions. Mean Machines defeated Crusaders the last Super Bowl with 1 score. And the first game this season, Mean Machines beat Crusader with a big score. How are you going to beat the Crusader the next game?
We're going to see how that's going to develop, how that game. They played a really good game versus Uppsala, and we're really trying to prepare we have to be in our very best. We haven't beat Karlstad in Karlstad for like 15 years or so. That's going to be a tough game. It's always tough to play Karlstad in Karlstad. So that's a big goal for all of us. We need to do what we do good and try to make sure that they're going to do mistakes. And when we do that, we need to be there to be able to make plays out of their mistakes. Minimize our mistakes and take advantage of theirs.
In the beginning of the season at the training camp, I asked you, what is your goal for the season? And you told me, try to work with the guys, the best of my ability, not only on the fields, also the meeting and so on. Do you think you have succeeded your plans?
So far, I think we have been pretty solid, especially in the Swedish league. So I think we have succeeded in that, yeah.
You have made 1,085 passing yards and 7 touchdowns. Are you satisfied with your own playing so far?
I can always get a little bit better, but my teammates put me in a great position to do the things that I do best, which is throw the football. And I have so many playmakers around me that those stats make them actually shine brighter than me.
You know the Crusaders are the champions in many years, and you beat them the first game. How do you feel to meet them again?
I feel great about it. You know, Coach told us that Karlstad at home has not been beaten by the Stockholm team in the last 15 years. And we're really looking forward to having a shot of changing that. That's also not just a game thing, it's also a psychological thing for us, especially those guys who have been a part of this team long enough to experience that drought. And we're really looking forward to having a chance of changing that.
today you have played some games with your teammates. Do you know how they thinking today? I mean, in the beginning when the new guys was new, you didn't know them much, but have you learned to know them better today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every single game teaches me a lot about them, and it's not only what happens on the field. You know, when you form friendships with some of the guys off the field as well, that really just grows the team so much tighter, and we benefit from that every following game. So after, I think this is now our 7th game that we've already played, so coming up as our 8th game. It's been a long time, a lot of practices before games and also during the games. You get to know the guys pretty well, and I think we've benefited off of that.
You remember when you met Finland and you met Denmark? How was it feeling for you in that this game? The game was very even. How does it feel for you?
Yeah, like you said, those games were really tight, but compared to the Swedish League, those teams were one level higher, some maybe even 2 levels higher than most Swedish teams are right now. And I feel like it was early on in the season for all the teams, but especially for this team with so many guys coming in from outside, including myself. It could have possibly helped us if we had played those European games at a later stage, but it was still a really good game atmosphere. There was a lot of fans showing up for our Copenhagen home game, and those games were fun to watch. So as a player, you'd hope for these games to be at a later point of the season when you've grown together as a team, like I said before. That really helps, especially with timing and chemistry. But it is what it is. We've played those games. We've showed football Europe that we can compete with these top teams. And you know, if things go a little bit different, we might win both games. So we were really close in both of them. Now all there is for us is to focus on the Swedish season, and we are doing our best to finish this season with a gold medal.
If it was impossible for you to change the team, how you play, what would you do then?
Say it again.
If it was possible for you to change how you play the team, or the Mean Machine playing, what would you do?
To be honest, I wouldn't really change much. For me personally, I like to go up tempo, so that means no huddle, just call the play and go, and nobody gets into a huddle. And we're starting to implement that. But like I said, that's something that grows, and it's not something that works on day one. So I think now we're at a stage where we're going to start doing that more, and that's also definitely one of our strengths going forward. I think teams will not be ready for that.
So, what is the last words you would say to the people gonna watch this interview?
Go support us. We have one home game left, which will be the semifinal. It will be played on Saturday, June 29th, which is also my birthday. So come show your support, show us some love, and cheer us on to go to the final.
We got a lot of games in Sunday. We'll make them count, all right? Season 3, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, shoot.